You can't tell me what to do. What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers? We are back in Chris's shop again, which means it's time to talk about the AK-50, and thankfully this time around, it's time to get back to work on it. Before I go any further into this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, because if we get more than 5,000 likes on this video, I will get your Ran Thumb to host gun meme review. It's a promise to you. Something that did just occur to me though, we have grown a lot on YouTube, which means, first of all, thank you guys very much. There's a lot of new subscribers from the Mr. Beast audience, from, just a lot of different spikes we've had on YouTube. It's awesome to have you guys on board. Welcome to the channel. But it also led me to also remind myself of the fact that probably a third of our new audience hasn't heard of the AK-50 before and probably has no idea what the hell it is. So for those of you who don't know, the AK-50 is kind of the project that put me on the map when I announced I was working on it, when I had no idea what that entailed for me and my future. So what it basically is an AK platform rifle that is supposed to be shooting 7.62 by 39, it's the original AK caliber, and is instead chambered to shoot 50 BMG. You see the problem. Needless to say, this was a massive undertaking, had a lot of help along the way. It's been an insane project over the last few years. And starting from the beginning, our first prototype, you know what, just, you can roll the clip. I'm proud to present the AK-50. 3, 2, 1! So all of that leads us back around to this. This right here is about where we're at now with the V5 prototype. Now there's a couple of changes. Now if you remember the last update video that we did, just kind of letting you guys know where we were with the project, we have kind of come a long way from there. We've actually started building the damn thing, for one. We've moved to that 20-inch kind of more combat barrel. This is going to be something, I think that's going to be a lot more popular, just because in my personal opinion, it looks a lot sexier on the AK-50. It's that nice little shorty barrel with the big old break. This is the JMAC RRD-50. To my knowledge, still the only one in existence. It's just the JMAC RRD-4C muzzle brake, sized up for 50 BMG. Pretty damn cool. I still appreciate that they did that for us. We haven't pressed on the gas block yet because we're still screwing around with our gas port size. We haven't even drilled it yet for this one. The barrel extension is pressed in, it just needs to be drilled and pinned, barrel screwed in, and of course the bolt and carrier actually run a hell of a lot smoother than they did on the V1. If you guys recall, the V1 had a lot of play, side to side, up to down, up and down. This has hardly any. This has basically just enough to smoothly operate. The unfortunate part, as you can see there, is that we do not yet have a cam groove and a cam lug yet, which means that there's nothing to currently rotate the bolt back and forth when it closes and opens and gets pulled back out by the bolt carrier. So just kind of floating there. But those are some of the only things. Oh, actually that leads me around to the whole point of the video, is what is left to do on the AK-50 before this thing is fireable and we can do mag dumps and do all the cool shit, really. Well, let's kind of go down the list. And I'm just gonna leave out a lot of the minor stuff like the fitting and trimming and stuff like that. The big plot points is we have to do a firing pin for the bolt. We have to do a cam lug. Got a new design on the cam lug. It's going to be a little different. Some of the areas that we ran into on the V1 that were failing were cam lug, cam groove, and heat treat galling. So there's a couple of approaches that we've taken to fix all of the things on the V1 so that hopefully V5 goes a lot better. For those of you who are wondering, Vs 2, 3, and 4 were all canned in the computer. Basically, we just kept making changes, and it was just easier to call them whole new iterations. So the only ones we've actually physically prototyped are the V1 and V5. So on this one, we've got to do the cam lug, which is what is a part of the bolt that rotates it to lock it. We've got to do the cam groove, which is the piece under here in the bolt carrier that is going to, accept the cam lug, and it's kind of the track that it rides in on an AK that turns the bolt left or right. We've got to drill and pin the barrel extension into place, and obviously we've got to drill out the axis pin holes there for the fire control group. It still does take a standard AK fire control group, which I just love, tickles me to death. The standard AK has the force to knock a 50 BMG primer with I mean, we've never had a failure with it yet, so that's just kind of entertaining to me. But yeah, then it's drilling a gas port, finding our ideal gas port size, pressing on our gas block, drilling and pinning that, and we're pretty much, and of course, you know, we got to fit our magazine as far as figuring out where it sits, where the optimal place is, and finding some sort of mag latch system that works for it. Shouldn't be terribly difficult, just a little bit of trial and error. So that's about all we have left on the V5. Oh, and heat treat as well. It's going to take a couple of days, but that's a very critical component to that. So this is, it's getting very close. Now it's just back to the drawing board as far as figuring out exactly how we want to make that cam groove system work, because I've got a couple of ideas. We've been toying some things, me and Chris, back and forth to see what's going to work the best for this, but I'm genuinely excited where we're going to go with this. But I'm very sorry that I haven't been able to spend as much time as I've wanted working on this stuff. Unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, it's actually really fortunately. Everything else has just been taken off, and the unfortunate part is it is taking up a lot of my time. The YouTube has been on a tear. Since January of this year, we were at 30,000. We've moved to, at the time of recording, like 165,000 subscribers, which is meteoric for GunTube. That's insane to me, and I appreciate the hell out of it, guys. So keeping consistent content as part of that growth, that's taken up a lot of time. Production on the AKGs, taking that fully in-house and having to get set up, doing like 75 parts kits at a time and moving on to bigger deals and maybe taking on bigger contracts. It's a scary thing. It scares the hell out of me, the amount of tooling and stuff like that, and can you like feel the stress through the camera? It's a crazy endeavor. I love every minute of it. I love almost every minute of it. But it takes up a lot of my time. So unfortunately, I haven't been dedicating as much as I would have liked on the AK-50 here. Not to mention some of the other projects we're working on, some of the Patreon projects, you know, the 224 Valkyrie, which I've actually got to give away later today at time of recording. So that's already given away. You're welcome. So long story short, basically we've just been really busy lately, just on all fronts. It's been crazy. We have not given up on the project. For the love of God, stop asking. People are talking about the AK-50 like it's already just, well, sorry to hear about the AK-50. Why? Did something happen that I don't know about? We're gonna get it done, guys. This is like my one thing that is going to get done, hell or high water. I literally have a manila and envelope with instructions in it for if I'm hit by a bus tomorrow, how this thing is gonna get done without me. Like, this thing is gonna get done one way or the other, so don't even worry about it. Nobody's giving up on the project. It's gonna get done, it's gonna get to market, I promise, okay? That simple. So, thank you guys for following along. Thank you guys for being patient and understanding, and you know, following the rest of the content and everything. I'm excited to get this thing done. I'm excited for the big old video that we're gonna make that basically spans all the way back to like April, basically just on the progress of the AK-50. It's going to be a long, nice cinematic video, kind of what we tried to do with building the Behemoth, but with all of the tools we have now, with better cameras, better editing, a little bit of writing, like just forethought. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited for it. It's basically going to be a mini movie on the AK-50 V5. So, got all that to look forward to. Thank you guys so much for following along, and I will see you sexy motherfuckers on Thursday. Thanks, guys. You gonna let me have my gun back? Is that a no?